Okay, this video is Dr. Rogers banned from the university. There's a local university near where I work that I sometimes go and talk at, okay? And I found out I was banned from speaking to the internal medicine residents because I told a fart joke. Okay, and then where did I tell a fart joke? I told a fart joke in my book here, Journey to Optimal Health. And this is one of the best medical books ever written. I'm very proud of this book. It's very funny and clever. My newer books are better because I have a lot of illustrations. But in terms of the writing, the quality of the writing in this book, it's a masterpiece. It's really funny, clever, and goes in detail. So anyways, what happened? This lady feminist doctor got mad because I made fun of her field. Her field's a joke, okay? And I made fun of her field. So what she did to get back at me, she let it be known to the internal medicine residency education director that I had made a joke in this book that was patriarchal and misogynist. Okay, so I'll tell you the joke. I have to show you what a fecal transplant is all about. When somebody has increased intestinal permeability, it can cause ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, intestinal Behçet's disease. You can have recurrent Clostridium difficile infection problem. You can also have autoimmune diseases due to leaky gut. So anyways, one of the treatments is you can do what's called a fecal transplant. So here's the husband. Autoimmune diseases are 80% of them occur in women. They're much more common in women. So let's say here's the wife, and she's got the leaky gut. So the husband will take, his feces will be taken by the gastroenterologist. They'll strain them, they'll mix them with water to make a slurry, and then they'll inject them through a colonoscope into the colon, the proximal colon, the right side of the colon by the cecum. Okay, so here's a patient who is undergoing the fecal transplant procedure. This is being injected into the colonoscope, which is deep into the patient's right side of the colon here. Look, the colon looks like a question mark. You just follow it around. So here's the rectum, here's the sigmoid colon, here's the left colon, or the descending colon it's called. Here's a transverse colon, and then here is the cecum. This would be the ascending colon, this would be the cecum. The appendix would come off right there. Okay, so anyways, that's a transcolonoscopy fecal transplant. Okay, so in my book, Journey to Optimal Health, I wrote, if the wife has leaky gut, instead of undergoing a fecal colonoscope transplant, why doesn't she just kiss her husband's ass, take a little shit from him? Okay, just a joke. A joke. Okay, it's not the end of the world. It's a joke. A fart joke. Okay, but because of that, I'm not allowed to go over to one of those universities and speak to the internal medicine residents. And by the way, the internal medicine residents and their residency directors, they don't know anything. They don't know kindergarten level information about nutrition, epidemiology, toxicology, and really what causes the common diseases, diabetes, hypertension, atherosclerosis, and whatnot. And I know some other internal medicine doctors, and they've also told me, oh yeah, those guys don't know anything. And they're well aware internal medicine textbooks are a joke. And this includes all the Ivy League, famous university authored textbooks. They are a joke. They are an embarrassment. They are a disgrace. They're really not much better than the stuff that came out of the 1700s about therapeutic phlebotomy, okay? They're a joke. Okay, so anyways, I just let you know about this, that this is how the truth is kept from the young doctors, okay? So this lady feminist doctor was embarrassed that I basically made a joke out of her field in my book, as it is. She can't refute my statements because they're 100% accurate. So what she did was, and I don't ever embarrass people in conventional medicine on purpose. So I would not have embarrassed her field on purpose. I would have spoke about entirely different things. Like usually what people want to hear me speak about in a conventional setting is mechanisms of atherosclerosis, diabetes, hypertension, and dementia. Those are the common things I get asked to speak about to an internal medicine audience. So anyways, I thought you guys might find this a little bit amusing and see how ridiculous it is. And this is one of these university hospitals where they ort babies, and do all those terrible things, chop them up, send them for all these things, for medications that people eat, like cannibalism. They do that all the time, every day, and that's okay. But I can't make a fart joke in my book. It was in my book. It wasn't like I made it even speaking in front of an audience. I'm actually more prim and proper when I speak in front of conventional audiences. But just because it was in my book. Do you know how insane that is? How insane that is? What an insult that is to freedom of speech? What an insult that is to these young doctors that want to get educated and don't know anything that's going on? I've had medical students tell me that they've learned more in 2 hours of hanging around with me than they did in their previous 8 years of medical education. Okay, and I've had internal medicine doctors, several of them, tell me that really my book should be required reading for all internal medicine doctors. I've essentially rewritten their textbooks and corrected them. Their textbooks are stupid. Their textbooks are a joke. I would debate the head of any Ivy League internal medicine department any day of the week without even preparation and kick the crap out of them because they're totally ignorant. They don't know what they're talking about. I can assure you of that. And I know the smartest internal medicine doctors. I know the ones that were top of their class, AOAs, all that stuff. And I know doctors who know them. And they both said that none of those guys even have enough vocabulary to debate me because they make the assumption that their textbook is all there is to know in their field. And they really don't know almost anything beyond it other than what's in their journals and their textbook, which is simply, how to sell drugs. So anyways, there it is. That's how I got banned from the university for speaking to internal medicine residents.